Hi there and welcome to my channel Life with Lois. My name is Lois and today I'm going to be bringing you another business video in the series of business tips and tricks with Lois. Now today is all about 8 steps to starting that business. But before we get into it, just a bit of housekeeping. Don't forget to click on your notifications button so every time a video is released, you'll be the first to know. Also, don't forget to subscribe and also share and like the video. Like the video so we can help to grow the channel. So guys, without further ado, let's get into it. So the reason I'm bringing this video to you is because a lot of people have asked me, or they keep asking me, how do I get into business? How do I start that business? What do I do? They have no idea where to start, because to be honest, if you start something that is ahead of the game, you don't put things in order, you'll just be chasing your tail. So really, if you follow these 8 steps to starting a business, you'll know you'll be on your way, covering all your bases and ensuring that you're starting your business correctly. So get a pen and paper, take some notes about starting the business. Step number 1 is know what you want to do. What do you want to do? You have to take that passion, that vision, and start your business. Turn that idea into something that's probably going to be an enjoyable income for you to earn. At the end of the day, when you start the business, it's got to be a passion. Why? So that when times get a little bit difficult or challenging, that's the motivation that's going to keep you going to grow your business. So make sure that you know exactly what it is you want to do. Have a vision board. Make sure that you can see clearly exactly what you want to do to make your passion, your dream, your vision into a business. So that's the first step. Second step, do your research. You have to do your research. What you have to do is look at your competitor. What are they doing in terms of the business? Have you done your research online to decide, how do I expand? How do I grow? What do I need in place to start this business? What you've got to do is look at what your competitor's doing and do it better. I know it sounds a bit of the competition, but at the end of the day, you've got to be unique in what you're doing. So you've got to research, you've got to know everything. You've got to do the legwork so that you know that when you come out of the park with your business idea, that you are going to be one step ahead of your competitors, or at least in the running to get to that place, to get one step ahead, so that you can be surviving in your business lane, in your field. So I would say, make sure you do your research. It's imperative. Think about your name. What is your business name going to be? Now, this is important. It's so important. You need to know that that business name that you choose is going to be also the name that you can use as a domain name. Is that domain name available? You also got to think, is that name available for your USP handles or your social media handles? Is that name available at Companies House? Now, I know in the UK, we have a government body that's called Companies House. Now, check your name is available on all these areas, because what you don't want to do is create this name, come up with it, and then you go to Companies House, somebody else has got it. Or you go to type it in on social media, 50 other people have got it. Also check the spelling. The spelling is important, because what you don't want to do is try to spell it in a very odd way and then somebody else has already gone ahead and taken that spelling. So make sure that everything is checked out. Also, what you've got to think about is your business bank account as well. That also needs to have the same name. Don't be putting your business money in with your savings or your auntie's money or your uncle's money or your cousin down the road. Have your business bank account. These things are very important and need to be kept separate for accounting. You have to register your business, and make sure when you're registering your business as well, do you know how you want to register? Are you going to be a sole trader? Are you going to be a LLC? Are you going to be a limited company? Are you going to go into some sort of partnership? Know what strategy you're going to use, know how you're going to be viewed as a public business, and know how you want to present yourself to be a professional business. Tip number 4, email addresses. Make sure that everything relating to your business comes from your business email address. Now, it may be that initially you've got a standard Hotmail or Yahoo or AOL account, but eventually you want to move across to your own personal domain name so that everything that relates to your business flows in and flows out of your company email address. Now, when we start off small, yes, we do start off with, maybe a different account, but eventually you want to move across because your company is a professional company. And if you want to be treated professionally and be respected, you have to then present as a very serious business, as a very serious company to be taken seriously. And these things, believe it or not, they actually make a difference. I personally, when I started my business, I started off with a personal domain name. And this is because I wanted to present everything with the same name so that it's all uniformed. It all looks professional. It is professional. You come across professional. So I would suggest that you make sure you sort out your email, sort out the personal domain so you can name it in your name and have everything relating to your business flowing in and out. No hotgirl@hotmail.com. No. Keep it professional. Tip number 5. Now, putting your business plan together. This is so important. You can't just have a scattergun approach when planning something that's very important as your business. You've got to look at, what is my plan? Some people start off with a 5-year plan, and that's good if you're looking to do investments or you're looking for financing, and you have to then present this to an outside body that you may be looking at funding. But in terms of actually a business plan that you can see where you're going, it's like a roadmap. It's a business roadmap, and that way you can see and you can chart exactly what you should be doing and what expectations that you're going to expect. For example, how much profit should you be making at a certain term in your business 5-year plan or 18-month plan, because you have to plan your finances, you have to plan your profits, you have to plan your expenditure, your setup, your startup costs. All these things are part of your planning, and you need to know, how much money am I going to be making? Because that is important. That's all part of your plan. A business plan is absolutely important. I will be going into that in another video in a few weeks' time. So if you want to know more about starting a plan, look out for that video. Now, the next step is about finances and funding. Now, this is going to be a consideration for every business and maybe a worry for some. It may be that you haven't got the initial capital to start the business, or it may be that you've got a small amount of money, but this is important, and this all goes into part of your planning. Knowing how much finance that you're going to need, or maybe if you're going to need funding, you might want to join an organisation such as the FSB, and they actually help small businesses to actually fund and plan their businesses. Or you might want to Google startups and inquiring about government startups that help you to start your company. Or you may want to look for an armchair or an angel investor. It really depends on how you want to do it. In terms of how I started my company, I kind of knew for quite a while that I wanted to start a business, so I was saving along the way. So that's what enabled me to actually start my company. But sometimes we're not all in that position to be able to do that, so it's a case of maybe you have to find that funding from elsewhere. But it's so important that your finances are intact and that you know how you're going to go forwards in terms of finances. Now, just on the arm of finances, on the cusp of it, what I must say to you as well when it comes to your finances, it's not just about how you're going to start it, but how are you going to maintain it in your business life. Now, when it comes to income and expenditure, this must be tracked. If you're going to have petrol receipts, or you're going to have food receipts or things like that, you must keep receipts of everything you spend. This is because when it comes to end of year accounting, all your finances must be tracked. This is such an important process for tax, because how you're going to be taxed, and especially company tax, or maybe it might be something a director is going to be paying separately, these things need to be tracked and notified so that you can actually keep an eye on everything. Because believe you me, when it comes to filing your end of year accounts, you don't want to be tangled and tied up. You don't want to be wrapped up in it. You want to know that you've kept everything above board. It may even be that you want to get some sort of accounting software such as QuickBooks, or there are other ones on the market, but it really depends on your choice and how it works for your business. But financing and funding is so important in a business. Definitely something to keep an eye on. The next important thing to think about is marketing. Now, I cannot stress this enough. The thing is, marketing, you literally have to be a ninja in marketing. You have to know, how are you going to market? What is your strategy? How often are you going to market? What are you going to use to market? Is it going to be physical leaflets? Is it going to be social media? Is it going to be taking out adverts in maybe, I don't know, newspapers or online events? You have to have a marketing plan and a marketing strategy, and also know the type of content that you want to pitch out on a regular basis. This is so important. You know, you have to know your market. You have to know who you're selling to, who you're pitching to, how to funnel all those leads. What's your call to action? These are the things that are very, very, very important, because if you're not putting it out there, how are people going to know who you are? How are people going to find you? And this is why it also goes back to make sure that you've got your right USP, you've got your social media handles. Because if you can't be found, then people are not going to find you. It's really that simple. Make it easy so you can be found, but also put yourself out there. Think about it. Every time you go on social media, you're probably scrolling through Insta or you're scrolling through Facebook. You could have put an advert out at that very same time. You're there anyway, so why not use it? It's a free marketing tool. Best way to market, but know your strategy, have a plan. And the final tip I would say is your website. Now, people get concerned. Oh my God, website. It is something to be concerned about, but you need it. You need it. A website is almost like having a shop front. Now, many years ago, before the World Wide Web, you walked down the roads, you wanted to buy something, you went to a shop. Now, instead of walking down the road to a shop, people are going to go to their computer, and that's the shop front. That's your storefront. So if you don't have a website, how are people going to find you? Especially if you're trying to market worldwide or you're trying to market throughout your country. How will other people in other parts of the country know about you, know about your business, know about what you're selling, know about your products? How will they know? Especially if they don't probably travel out of their small country town where they might be living, but yet still they might want your product and not know of you. So think of your website as your storefront, or think of your website as your business home. That's where your business lives. It lives on the website. So if they want to come knocking, they're going to come knocking at your website. They're going to be able to check you out, see what you're all about, do comparisons, compare you with other people. But if you're not there in the first place, how can they ever find out about you? Even if you have a very simple landing page, just a one-pager, a stagnant landing page where that can actually just detail your details. It can talk about your products. It can show your logo, your branding. It can talk all about you and that way you're known. It doesn't have to be fancy. After, a year or so, you can upgrade or get a web designer to put together your website. And I know a great web designer based here in London. And if you want details, just pop a DM down below. I'm quite happy to connect you with my web designer. But there are some great people out there you can use. You can even use search engines like Fiverr.com, where people can build it for you. But people will want to research you, and you've got to be available. But also, what you've got to think about as well, and this happened to me when I first started off in business. I went into a particular place to do some business, and the person sat there in front of me and looked me up straight away on the website. I wasn't impressed because I was young at that time in business. I was, just starting out. But people look at you straight away on the website, and it gives you credibility. Believe it or not, it gives you credibility. If they can't find you, they can't trace you, they can't find a landline number for your business on your website. These things give people the confidence that you're a professional business. So guys, that's my 8 tips and tricks to starting a business. I hope it was helpful to you. And I hope that, going forward, you can start that business. And if there's any questions you want to ask me, by all means, drop a question down below. I'm happy to do a Q&A if that's something that you would like. But as I said, here are the tips and tricks. Arm yourself with them. Go forward, and congratulations that you are actually moving forward to start your business, because we've all got to start somewhere. And sometimes it just starts with the idea, with a vision, with a heart, and then you move forward with it. So guys, until next time, Life with Loise, business tips and tricks. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.